we lowered the policy rate by 50 basis points. This is our fourth consecutive decrease since June and brings our policy rate to 3.75%.
So the Bank of Canada has just released that it has dropped the interest rates by 0.5%. Now I know also in the US, slowly, the interest rates are coming down, but I wanted to do a video on how this is going to affect company drivers, owner-operators, and small fleets, and even larger fleets. So let's start off with the owner-operators. How is the decrease in interest rates going to affect your lives? Lower interest rates means lower financing costs. So if you're thinking of upgrading your truck or your current truck, if you are thinking of becoming an owner-operator and buying a truck, a trailer, a flatbed, a reefer, all this is going to get affected by you. Your monthly payments are going to get affected in a positive way. Today, I would say an owner-operator can finance his equipment anywhere between 8 to 10% if you have good credit, and probably 10 to 12% if you have mediocre credit. If the interest rates went down by 0.5%, instead of 8%, you can secure it at 7.5%. Well, this is great news for you because your monthly payments on your equipment is probably going to be a couple of $100s cheaper. Now, this couple of $100, you can either put it towards your fuel bills, you can put it towards yourself. You can do anything you want with it, but it's not going to go to the banks and it's not going to go for interest paid, which is great because that means more money in your pocket.
Tell them to bring me my money.
Now, I think we need to understand that lower interest rates usually stimulate an economy. Now, if an economy is stimulated, if people are buying more, if people are building more, if people are spending more, then there's definitely going to be more of a need for transportation, which automatically will make the cost of shipping probably more expensive. So I think we all noticed that in COVID, what happened, price of transportation spiked, and it spiked so much that it kind of broke all records for us. If interest rates go down, freight rates will start going up. It will take some time because it will stimulate the economy. And I think both Canada and the US are bringing down interest rates in order to stimulate the economy. So this kind of brings us to the second part of this video, which is how it's going to affect company drivers. With an economy being stimulated and more people need transportation, the need for truck drivers, the value of a truck driver is going to start going up. And you're going to see, just like we had in COVID, the rates for truck drivers are going to go up. You'll see that companies are going to be fighting over company drivers. Why? Because if I have vacant seats in my fleet, because there's so much need for transportation, and if another company also has vacant seats, and like that, multiply that by 10,000 companies out there, then we're all fighting over drivers, and that fight is going to create an increase in wages. So I'll pay 75 cents, and my neighbor is going to see that I'm paying 75 cents. He'll probably pay 78 cents, and then it just causes a lot more competition, and the need for truck drivers and the value of that truck driver is going to go up. I think we saw a clear indication of this during COVID. I think the pay rates and salaries of drivers went up from 65 cents to 70. I also saw 75 cents, even 80 cents. I even saw some ads that went up to 90 cents per mile for the long haul truck drivers. So will it happen again? Yes, it will take time, but it will happen again, especially because a lot of people came out of the industry and the need for the truck drivers. Right now, there's an abundance of truck drivers, but you will see very quickly that that's going to change around. All right, now let's talk about small fleets or even larger fleets. So here's a perfect example. So I just purchased 6 brand new reefer units. The cost of those reefer units was about $600,000 with the reefer unit and the trailer. Financing these reefer units at 5.5% versus 5% is probably going to give you a difference of about $300-400 per month. Now, if you take that and you multiply that by the amount of trucks that we buy, the amount of trailers, the amount of flatbeds, the amount of reefers, we're talking about millions of dollars in financing, and we're talking about the savings of 0.5% on these millions of dollars. So we're actually saving in total probably tens of thousands of dollars. Now, if you have tens of thousands of dollars extra, well, now you can invest it in your safety department. Now you can put a little bit more money into paying drivers. Now you can put a little bit more money on these, the extra things that you have held on for so long in paying because of the economical downfall. I think it's, no secret that all the trucking companies out there, we've been in survival mode literally for the last year, if not for the last 18 months. And this hopefully will stimulate the economy with the interest rate drop. So people are going to start building more. Construction is halted everywhere. It's halted. I mean, why in the world would you take so many millions of dollars from the bank when you're paying such high interest rates? A lot of the developers, especially the ones that I've talked to, have definitely held on developing their lands because of this interest rate hikes. And now that they brought the interest rate down, this is definitely going to start to stimulate the economy. And if there's going to be another drop in interest rate in December, this is going to definitely work in our favor, and it's going to really pick up, the trucking industry a lot like it was, maybe not exactly like it was post-COVID, and at COVID, but it's definitely going to bring better times than where we are right now. Now, for those of you guys that are interested in financing out there, I've created a link probably about 2 years ago. I've helped over 5,000 people secure financing, and what I've done is I've literally taken all the competitors out there. I've put them into one place. I did one form, and whenever you fill that out, whenever you're requesting for financing, that form goes out to multiple lenders out there that are going to compete for your business. The last thing you want to do is pay absurd financing rates, and I've seen it multiple times, and that's why I created this link. I have absolutely no advantage, and I don't get paid for this. I just want to help the people out there, and financing for trucking a lot more accessible, a lot more easier, and a lot more competitive than what I've seen it until today. So use that link and let it go to multiple lenders if you are in need of financing. Well, I'd really love to hear some of your feedback out there. What kind of effects do you think the interest rate drop in Canada and in the US is going to have on our economy and on our trucking industry, both for company drivers, owner operators, and fleet owners? So leave the comments down below. I'm Ronan, and I'll catch you in my next video.